Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Kind of a neat pattern. It's not perfect, but it almost an illusion, optical illusion uh, pattern. And it was made from this, and I've made several of these. But I found a couple of secrets recently how to make this easier. So I'm going to make it ellipse, put it in the center page. Then I'm going to take two smaller ellipses, about 3 inches tall. And then I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate. And holding down the control button after I start moving it, well, let me zoom in here. Get that elliptical shape, crescent moon. And then if you hit P, that shape is 3 inches tall. So if we set our nudge factor on 3 inches, let me get rid of these, and you select both and go T, and then select that and just put your arrow, it's at the top of that line perfectly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to Control D, alternate C, just to see what degree we need to turn it. And I'm going to say 3 degrees is going to be good. We could actually make it a little bit thicker, but it's good. So now I only have that one copy, and I'm going to alternate C to put the rotation. Then I'm going to go to Windows, Dockers, and Transform or Transformation, depending on what version you have. I'm going to rotate it 3 degrees at 119. I need 120, but I've already got one. That looks pretty good. I'm going to take away the ring. I'm going to group that together with Control G. I'm going to Control D while holding down the Shift key. I'm going to bring that in, and then I'm going to mirror it. And you could really spend a lot of time to make it perfect. Now here's what I've kind of learned by doing this. Group this together. Control G, Control D, while holding down the Shift key. So what you're doing two at a time. Because the next one isn't going to be equal. I mean, just that's part of the game. So we're going to Control D, hold down the Shift key. And because we've rotated every other one already, I'm holding down the Shift key, make it a little bit bigger. Because we're doing that, we don't have to alternate it but one time. See how it makes the next copy just too small? And you could actually go further. I'm going to go one more this time. Well, that time it worked. I'm going to zoom in here. Yeah, we're a little off. I would get those together a little bit more. I'm going to Control G to group it. I'm actually going to make it a little bit smaller by holding down the Shift key. And then I'm going to take a square, and I'm going to start right there in the center, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and, well, that didn't work. Can't remember the code for what do you do for that, but let's put it right here in the center. Now you pretty much want the whole thing in there. So this time we're going to hold down the Shift key and it'll grow from the center. Well, that isn't what I wanted. Maybe I don't hold down the Shift key and it'll grow from that corner. So we're going to call that good. And because this is one group, we can take and it's going to intersect that line or that square. And we have that right there. Now and if you would have made it a little bit bigger, it would be a little bit better maybe. Or you know what I mean, without that hole there. Now we just need to make this a size, and we're going to make it 4 inches. Set our nudge factor on 4. But really, right now, we're not going to do that. We're going to Control D to duplicate. And then while holding down the Control key while you do this, and it doesn't really matter which way, but you know, if you did it the other way, it might be totally different. Now I'm going to Control D, holding down the Shift key. Now this time I'm going to mirror it that way. You know what? I wonder if I mirrored both of them. You know, that looks even cooler. Now our nudge factor is still set on 4, but we could just hit it twice. I'm just hitting the plus key and then doing it twice. I don't have to keep going like wallpaper. Now it would have looked better if it looks pretty good. Now to put like a colored box around it, just select them all, hold down the shift key, double click on the rectangle tool, and let's use green this time. I'm going to take away the outline and go to object, order, back a page. And then it would be your call which color would be better. I'm kind of partial to the yellow. So while we still got it selected, you could make it yellow. We could make it orange. And that doesn't look too much. Wonder if we move that out of the way and make our, well, I didn't, you know what, I moved that. I don't want to move it. I want to nudge it out of the way because I'm going to try something. These are fill. What if we made the fill white? Look at that. And you don't have to use white. You could use anything. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.